Co-main event this week, we have Dan the Hangman Hooker taking on Michael Chandler. This is at 155. Hooker comes into this ranked number 6. Michael Chandler has yet to fight in the UFC, so he has yet to be ranked. But Hooker comes into the fight 7-2 in his last 9. He's primarily a striker, a very creative striker. He's got great elbows, knees. Like he's fun to watch on the feet, and just a fun striking style. He has a 3.5-inch reach advantage, so a slight reach advantage in this one, and he usually utilizes that reach pretty well. He's got a very long jab.
I've been told that 3.5 inches isn't that much.
Yeah? No, it's a lot, dude. I'm going to tell you right now, 1 inch is a lot, okay? It's not the size of the boa, it's the...
I don't think you're like the guy from...
It's the motion of the ocean.
Yeah, you're like the guy from, what is it, Boondock Saints?
Yeah, where he mixes up all his...
Although the size of the boa, I don't think is one.
But it could be accurate.
There you go.
Hooker on the feet is nasty. He's got 10 career knockouts, so obviously he's got some power. He's also got a pretty dangerous submission game, a lethal guillotine. He's got 7 career submissions, and so Chandler in this fight, especially being a wrestler, has got to watch for that guillotine. But I do like Chandler in this one, and I will tell you why. He's a tremendous wrestler, Division I All-American in college. He's got a beautiful double leg takedown. He's got excellent top control and beautiful positioning once he does get it to the ground. A dangerous submission game from the top. He also has 7 career submissions. He's a powerful striker as well. He's got a pretty nasty right hand, but I still give Hooker the edge on the feet in this fight. I think that if Chandler can do what he does best, and by that I mean utilize some of his striking to set up the takedown, but mostly utilize the wrestling of the takedowns and try to control the fight on the ground, I think he's got a good chance. And that, again, if he can avoid a brawl with Hooker, because I think if he gets in a brawl, he's going to get hurt and he possibly finish. But I think he's going to be smart enough to do that. I got Chandler getting a decision win here. I don't think Hooker has faced the level of wrestling that Chandler has. So I'm going with Chandler just based on the stylistic matchup there.
Yeah, I mean, this should be a fantastic fight and a great lead into the main event.
Mm-hmm.
I look at level of competition.
Yeah,
and it's not to say that Chandler hasn't been in there. I mean, you've been in there with Benson a couple of times. You've fought with Eddie a couple of times. Pitbull a couple of times. So his level of competition is real comparable actually with Dan Hooker.
There's still a question.
I just think recently, his last 2 fights were against Benson Henderson, who's kind of aging at this point, and then Sidney Outlaw, who was his win after losing to Pitbull. I think you said it right. I mean, Dan Hooker's just getting better on his feet.
Yeah.
He's very creative, so he's dangerous everywhere. You know, he's got great. He mixes in the great knees and the kicks and the strikes. I do trust his ability to not get taken down and dominated, right? I mean, he's been in there, you know, with Felder and what a fight with Poirier it was, and he stopped Gilbert Burns a couple years ago.
Tough as hell.
Yeah, he's just a dog in there. Chandler, of course, his game. He's seen everything. He's a veteran. He has a lot of skills. He's got 9 career knockouts. He's got the same number of submissions, 7.
Yeah.
So he's got a good mix of tools. I think this fight does have a decision written all over it, and I'm just trying to think of maybe if it was 5 rounds, I would give it to Chandler and say, maybe towards those end rounds, he's going to be able to utilize a takedown and kind of grind out maybe some much needed rounds at the end of the fight and maybe get a decision that way. But it's only 3 minutes, and I think that the Hangman is going to be able to 3 rounds. I think that the Hangman is going to be able to be fresh enough for 15 minutes to be able to stay off the cage, stay off the mat, keep the standing enough to be able to implement his game plan, which is primarily in the strikes. Chandler has himself, especially recently, I think he has like 1 submission win or 2 submission wins in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So he loves to stand and trade and bang too, and I think coming into the UFC for the first time, he's gonna want to put on a show, man. It's a Conor McGregor fight card. It's gonna be 2 million buys, 1.8 million buys. It's gonna be massive.
It's big, a lot of eyes.
I don't see his game plan it might be his game plan. What I see him doing is going out there and going for it. He's a gamer, man. I like Michael Chandler, and I like everything that he brings. I think he's a complete fighter, but I see him getting into a slugfest with Hooker. I see it be really entertaining, but then I also see him getting hurt by the Hangman. And I think over 15 minutes, Hooker's able to use his combinations to score points, use his anti-wrestling to stay off of his back, and I think that he's able to get a decision in 15 minutes. So I see it going 15 minutes, but I think Hooker takes this one.
And he's tough as hell. He's got a hell of a chin. His only finish loss is to Barbosa.
What I was about to mention in that fight is, dude, you can't question his toughness.
Yeah.
You watch the fight against Barbosa, and Dan Hooker is as tough as they come.
Right, and he got stopped because of damage.
Yeah, he didn't stop because of himself. I kept yelling during that fight.
Stop!
Give up! It's over.
Yeah.
He literally only gave up when his body gave up.
Yeah, so
it wasn't his mind.
Yeah.
His body gave up in that fight.
And you can't question his toughness or his chin, at least not yet.
In that fight with Poirier, oof.
Yeah, you got cracked there too with some shots, and showed both. So that is a fun fight. I'm really excited for that. I'm excited also to see what he brings to the table. I haven't seen him in the UFC yet, so you made a good point that maybe the level of competition is somewhat comparable, but we just don't know yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Should be great.
Yeah.